I am optimistic, positive, and excited about chiropractic, reaching people with my practice and building an exceptional life of productivity, prosperity, and generosity while being filled with love, fitness, and fun. My purpose is to become a smarter, more powerful, capable, driven, and superior version of myself by ever increasing my awareness, knowledge, understanding, motivation, hands-on skill, communication skill, and mastering the art of exceptional living. Every single podcast here, you will attract naturally great new patients. You become a more capable motivator and persuader of people. You'll be empowered to make good long-term decisions. You'll be energized physically, mentally, and financially. You thinking about starting a practice? You a student? You out there and want to open up a new office? Are you wanting to start a practice? You're in the right place. At any given time, I've got 10 to 20 chiropractors starting practices around the country where I engineered it, designed it. They're clients. They're on their way to becoming very successful. You're out to do something you haven't done before. Would you climb Mount Everest by yourself? Never. You'd have a lot of advice and a lot of practice and a lot of training. You want to start a practice? Should you go start a practice by yourself? Never. You should hire a coach, learn, train, be prepared. Olympics is every 4 years. Do people wait until they are a week out from the Olympics and then start to prepare for it? No, they train practically every single day for 4 years. It's my recommendation if you're a student, you join Winner's Edge as soon as you become a student, because you need to learn as much as you can by the time you graduate. There's no time to waste. There's nothing to wait for. The waiting is over. Cramming is over. You need to know the absolute most material, language, beliefs, responses, certainty, technique, everything that you can before you open. So we recommend that as soon as a person gets into chiropractic college, they become a member under our special student startup program. But my goal here is to give you top 10 tips for starting a practice. Now, we have 800 videos on everything relating to starting, maintaining, growing, marketing, staffing, everything a successful practice. So for me to do something here in 30 minutes or so is going to be very chunky. But just the same, for those of you who may be new, those of you in school, this will be priceless. The very first thing, and I'm amazed at this as I talk with students, it's like they don't know this, which is very mystifying. I'll say, what do you think are the most important things for you to prepare, get ready to start a practice? And it's like they won't know. What do you think they are? What is the single most important thing for you to be thinking about if you want to start a practice? What is it? You're sitting there listening. You want to start a practice. The only thing on your mind that everything else hangs on is what? Where do I get the money? How much money can I get? A lot of you didn't get that. You didn't know that. How obvious is that? You want to go move into a new apartment. What's the first thing on your mind? Well, how much can I afford? Tells me what kind of places I can look for, right? But then you ask someone the question who's a chiropractic student, hey, you want to start a practice, what do you need to be thinking about? Well, I don't know, where I want to go. Where you want to go? That's easy. Getting the money is what everything hangs on, because getting the money is what determines where you go. specifically at least. So number one is, how much money can you get? I've had chiropractors start a practice with $7,000. I don't recommend it. I don't know if it could be done again today. I've had chiropractors start with $250,000. I've had chiropractors with rich oral surgeon dads say, honey, where do you want your new office? I've had chiropractors start with $75,000. So number one is, how much money can you get? This is why I want students to start with me immediately, because one of our teachings is you max out your student loans, you put the money into investments that you don't need, so when you graduate, you've got a pile of money that you can use to start the practice, or use to help you get more money to start a practice. I had a chiropractor on the line the other day. Had $50,000 saved while in chiropractic college. He asked if that would be enough to start a practice. I said no, but it'll give you the credibility to get the rest. So it's money. Where are you going to get the money, and how much can you get? Because how much you can get is what everything hangs on, as you will see. Next, of course, you got to determine where you want to go. Basically the state, and we focus in on the area, and we focus in on the neighborhood. And of course, the square footage. Level 1 office, we have people operate out of one room, 150 square feet. All the way up to a level 4 or level 5 office, 1,800 square feet for one chiropractor. Yeah, but we want to practice together. Fine, you need 3,000 square feet. You have to double everything, right? Never think, if you're going to practice with somebody else, that you can share anything. Each chiropractor needs all of their own stuff, right? If you have 2 chiropractors in one office, that means you need 2 x-ray machines. Period. Why would I want to not be able to see a new patient because someone else is hogging my x-ray machine? But yet that's what chiropractors do all the time when they practice together. How does it make any sense? It doesn't make any sense. You wouldn't share a cell phone. Why would you share an x-ray machine? Why would you share front desk? Why would you share computers? Why would you share parking spots? You can't share. You have to have your own stuff if you want to reach your potential. And that's what Winner's Edge is about. Winner's Edge is about empowering individual chiropractors to reach their potential. That is what we are here to do. And everything I do is about helping one single person reach their individual potential and getting everything out of the way of doing that. Because that's how they can serve the people around them the best, is by being the best and being their best. Tory, are certain states better than others? Yes. What are they? Well, we get on the phone and I will tell you. There are certain states where no matter what you do, you really won't do that well compared to other states. 200 visits a week in Florida is like 400 visits a week in Wisconsin. But you have to deal with all the stuff that Florida has that you don't have to deal with in Wisconsin. There's always a price to pay. So we have money, and we've got to start to hone in. All right, square footage, we can go over all these details. By the way, many of you have the Ultimate Chiropractic Startup Guide. I also have another cover for it, the Ultimate Chiropractic Success Guide. It's the same book. I give this book away to all chiropractic colleges. If you're a student and you don't have it, you reach out. We pay students to just give out the books. We'll send you a case or two, give you $100. Just open up the box. Everybody will grab them like chocolate chip cookies. They love it. Do yourself and do your friends a favor. Get a hold of us. We'll send you a case or two of books. You need the book. It's the most popular book in chiropractic today. It's possibly the most popular book in chiropractic in the last 100 years. Over 12,000 of these books have gone out. I want to make sure you get one. The Ultimate Chiropractic Startup/Success Guide. There's a lot more in there that we don't have time to talk about here. Next point for you is, what is the single biggest cost in starting a practice. What one single thing costs the most, and this one single expense is what everything else hangs on, because this is what determines how much money you have left for everything else that you're going to need. What is this one big expense that everything is hanging on? Most of you got the money question wrong, or a lot of you did. And most of you will get this wrong. No, it's not an x-ray machine. It's not equipment. It is the build-out for the office itself. Walls, drywall, ceiling tiles, doors, lock sets, door frames, carpet, paint. Carpet's an automatic $10,000. Paint's an automatic $10,000. And we haven't even talked about posters, which will be $3,000, chairs, which will be $3,000, computers, business card, letterhead, stationery, malpractice, insurance, website, forms, form copying, all of these things. We have it all down to a science. We have it all in checklist form for the new chiropractor. Of course you want to be in Winner's Edge and starting a practice. Okay? There is no better place you can be, period. Tory, how do I determine who to have as a coach? Well, who has the best books? Who has the most instant videos that show you how to do everything? I have videos of me personally building 2 of my offices from scratch, starting from a bare floor, going over all the framing, all the space, all the drywall, all the outlet locations, all of the door swings, all of the room sizes, all of the ceiling heights, all of the lighting, all of the front desk requirements. Me, the guy, personally building 2 of my own offices from scratch. I have videos documenting those. Those videos are worth millions of dollars. Probably the only person who's ever made such videos, let alone all of our other stuff. So it's the build out. So if we can get $150,000, you can see here, if you want to go to an office that's empty and you got to start from a bare floor, you may not have enough money. You might want to go to an office where there is a dentist. And hey, you can just rip some things out, rearrange some rooms, carpet and paint it for $30,000 and you're ready to go. You might have an office, again, that's a bare concrete floor. The landlord will give you a little bit of money, but you still have to pay $140,000. But Tory, I only have $100,000. I guess you won't be going to that spot then. But I really like it. It's perfect for an office. It doesn't matter. The brand new Range Rover Sport is also the perfect vehicle for you, but it's $110,000 and you can afford a $40,000 car, so you won't be getting it. You get what you can afford. So one of our things here at Winner's Edge is you get as much money as you can, and my goal is to help you not need it all. How much money are you going to have set aside for marketing? Fitness place called Orange Theory. I'm sure you've heard of it. What does it cost to open up an Orange Theory? Just think about it. 1,600 square feet, 2,000 square feet, bunch of leased equipment, some mirrors, some paint, front desk. Not that much in there. You have to have $300,000 to $600,000 ready to go. In fact, you have to have $150,000 sitting in cash after the place is built just for marketing. And then here's the chiropractor trying to do everything with $140,000. We bootstrap it, we grind, we tough it out, we eke our way. We're fighters. So there's how much money can you get? honing in on where you're going to go, starting to look at available spaces, and really understanding what the numbers are. And there's a whole science and a training all to itself. Tory, what numbers are important? Well, there's going to be the base rent, the CAM, and the tax. And then there's going to be the build-out allowance, the term for how long the lease is going to be, and what percentage does the base rent go up every year. See, there's 5 or 6 numbers that count. You have to understand what they mean. You have to know the language. How to negotiate, how to get the right space. Then it turns into the bid, the contract, or the plan. And of course, I'm drawing floor plans all the time. Every floor plan I draw for an office is a masterpiece. Hear that lawnmower? They mow the lawn every Tuesday morning here. As if there's nobody in these offices doing anything. But when else are they going to mow, I guess, right? But we'll endure. Next thing you got to be focusing on is, what are you going to call this place? It needs a name, it needs a brand, it needs a logo, and most importantly, it needs a good URL. And every chiropractor needs help with this. It has to sound right, it has to ring right, and it has to look right. When you see the URL typed out, it has to look correct. What do I mean? Well, you know what I mean. Sometimes you look at a word and it doesn't look right, it doesn't read right. So the name, what are the best names? Well, there's a whole science to that. We got a training on that too. Business card, letterhead, envelopes, that whole set. We've got the graphic design people ready to go for our clients also. You're creating a store, so we need money. We got to focus in on the location. We got to determine where we're going to be specifically, how much it's going to cost to get a place open, how much money will I have left over to survive until I get enough people coming in to become profitable, and then I will go from there and engage all the Winner's Edge systems, all the Winner's Edge money flow, all the Winner's Edge everything of chiropractic awesomeness to become a super successful chiropractor. Now, along the way, if you're in school, technique is your focus. It's the single most important thing. You have to get decent grades, you have to pass the boards, but your focus is technique. You have to get good enough at something that people will want to buy it. And you can't have any illusions. Here's an illusion. I had an intern once, and she was sitting there saying that she's going to charge 75 visits cash. This was 20 years ago. And here I am at $50 cash after having given about 800,000 adjustments by that point and being the most successful chiropractor probably in the state. Okay? And she goes, well, I said, I don't know if you're going to get that. And she goes, well, people haven't been adjusted by these hands. Her student hands. She was so delusional, she actually thought that she was good. She didn't realize she didn't know anything. Don't have illusions and don't be delusional. You need to focus on technique, your right hand, your left hand, your lumbar skill, thoracic skill, cervical skill, and your extremity skill. Even chiropractors have been out 10, 15, 20 years. Usually they just have 20 years experience of being average. You want to be good, very good with lumbar. Remember now, most people go to the chiropractor because of lumbar. The next thing I want you to be focusing on is some goal numbers. One thing I like to ask is, how many visits do you want to see? And if someone says, I don't know, it'd be like, let's see, you've been in chiropractic college for 3 years and you have no idea how many visits you want to see when you graduate? I'll guarantee you, if you were to play basketball for 3 years, you'd know how many points you want to score in a game. Okay? I want chiropractors to think that a successful chiropractor always sees 100 plus visits a day. If you're good at what you do, a lot of people want to come in and see you. You can be efficient with your time and you can see over 100 visits a day. Yeah, but I want to do this with people. Why would you do $60 an hour stuff with your $1,200 an hour degree? Well, I think people need muscle work. Yeah, they do. Not from you. Well, I was in exercise, and so I want to do exercises with people. Well, why don't you just go be a trainer for $100 an hour and give up your $1,200 an hour degree? Don't do $100 an hour stuff with your $1,200 an hour degree. Be a chiropractor. Let other people do these things. Understand your place. You're not a trainer anymore. You're not like the pimple-faced kid at GNC trying to doctor people with supplements anymore, okay? Be a real chiropractor. By the way, that's what everybody wants. People want a chiropractor desperately. They don't want what they can get anywhere. Okay, they want a chiropractor who has chiropractic skill, not a person with a big chiropractic degree that turns around and does stuff that they can get anywhere for cheap. Really think about what I just said. It's like an epidemic problem in the profession. Chiropractors doing $30 an hour stuff with their $1,200 an hour degree, their $300,000 degree. They do stuff that you can do with no degree. Why would you do that? Don't embarrass yourself. Be a chiropractor. Use your degree. Delegate everything else. So we got to get the numbers in our mind. Okay, so what do we got? We got to get some money. We got to hone in on where we want to go. We'll be focusing on the space and getting all those details worked out. We realize the most expensive thing is going to be the build out. We got to assess what that is in relation to how much money we have to see if that space will fly. If not, we got to find a different one. We got to be thinking about a name, a branding, a logo, the URL, how we're going to answer the phone, what my logo is going to look like on a shirt, what my logo is going to look like on a hat. We already have some goals in mind. We're going to connect to an expert so we can start to learn all the things we need to know so when we graduate, we're not lost like everybody else. You see here in my talking, there's an underlying tone of frustration. And it's too bad that I can't come to terms with the bell-shaped curve. I can't come to terms with how few chiropractors really want to be successful, because I figure everybody who went to chiro school wants to be really successful. But there really is only the percentage that does. And I'm frustrated by all of them within my profession that don't. And you see how much that bothers me. Now, if you're listening to me, maybe you want to be a champion, maybe you don't. I don't know. But I'm here for chiropractors that want to be champions. Okay? And it does frustrate me, the number of chiropractors that don't want to work hard and don't want to do well. And I wish them the best. But I am here for the chiropractors that want to become champions. And that means it requires a championship effort and champion level thinking. Champion level systems, champion level coaching, champion level goals, champion level effort. That is who we are here for. Look at our name, Winner's Edge. We are here to give people the edge, the superior processes, systems, procedures, mindset, and attitude to win in practice. Our name describes us perfectly. If you want to really win in practice, we will give you the edge with our information, our attitude, our experience, all of the people we have that have already done it, all of the motivation, all of the inspiration, all of the encouragement. You want to get to some professional events? You want to get hanging around some successful people so you can start to emulate. You want to start to emulate. We've got them here in the group. You join. I'll get you set up to visit chiropractors all over the fine country. Tory, do you have anybody across the street from me? Probably not. It's a big country. Okay? But then again, maybe we do. And along the way, it's what books are you reading? What videos are you watching? Audios you're listening to? Podcasts like this? To start the conditioning and training process. Start to teach you how to answer all the questions people ask you as a chiropractor. How to explain chiropractic well. How to deal with people that don't like chiropractic at the dinner table or in social settings. There's the ways to handle all of that stuff. There are the comebacks. There are the verbiage for all of those things. And we have it all down to a science. We just got to get all of it into your mind so you can use it and become successful immediately. Chiropractor here, paid off $285,000 in student loans, 2 years. Another chiropractor paid off $297,000 in student loans, 13 months. That only happens here because only we have the systems to do that. It's really true. Also along the way, your belief system, your belief in chiropractic, what chiropractic is supposed to do, and what chiropractic is not. Chiropractic is about power to organs. Chiropractic isn't for low back pain. Chiropractic is for power going to the prostate, colon, female reproductive organs, power into the legs. It just so happens that your low back feels better when you get your low back worked on. But the real goal is power to organs. Think about it. It's power to organs. Cervical, it's power to the thyroid gland, power to the heart, power to digestion, power to the gallbladder, power to empower the body chemistry of, okay? That's what chiropractic is. All the superficial stuff, hey, those are actually the side effects of chiropractic. Did you know that? What are the side effects of chiropractic? I don't know. Less back pain, better sleep, more energy, slows the degeneration process, adds flexibility, makes work better, sex better, exercise better, everything in your life better. It makes you happier. Those are the side effects. Think of how amazing it is. So you'll learn a lot about the belief system in chiropractic, what to believe, really how powerful it is, how to explain it better, all of this stuff. Knowledge gives you tremendous power. We are the knowledge source for you. We want you to take advantage of it. I've got to start to bring this to a close. I've got important coaching calls coming up. Big day today here. But I want you to also understand this if you're looking to start a practice. Tory, what are the most important things I have to be able to do? If you show me a chiropractor that can look good through their image, through our image training, and they have a 1-minute office visit time, and they can explain chiropractic well, and they have a Winner's Edge designed office, well, I know they're going to be super successful. Because if the chiropractor is able to discipline their time, I know that they'll have room to serve a lot of people. And if they have a well-designed office, the office will be able to handle a lot of people. And if they look like a professional chiropractor, people will want to be around them. And this chiropractor will be highly, highly successful. So treatment time. But Tory, I want to spend time with my patients. Well, then you're going to struggle. You won't make any money. You won't be able to pay anything on your debt. Chiropractic requires volume, because the day you decided to become a chiropractor was the day you decided you have to see a certain amount of people to collect enough to cover the bills, so whatever's left over you can get paid. Remember now, there's what you collect. That's not what you made. That's just what you collected, minus all of the overhead, okay, which is going to be more than you think, is going to equal a number which is called your gross income. Then you're going to take out the taxes, which will be more than you think, to leave your net income, and that's the actual dollar amount that you made. And you have to have that number be enough to give you a lifestyle that's better than you had as a student. There's a science to this. This is serious business. It is serious, serious business, and it must be done well. There is no room for error. There is no room for franchise fees to be in your life. There's no room to be an associate and hope that someone else will pay you enough for you to have a life. It's not possible for them to pay you enough as an associate for you to have any life that's better than you had as a student, really. The day you decided to become a chiropractor was the day you decided you're going to go out and have your own successful office, period. And in my own opinion, if that's not what you're out to do, you never should have gone to chiropractic college. If you're going to go out because you want to get a job, you never should have gone. But I'm here to help individual chiropractors become champions. I don't understand any other way or any other path that someone might take. In fact, as I learned from legendary wrestling coach Dan Gable, here there is one option and one option only. With him, there was one option only, and that was to win. Here at Winner's Edge, there's one option and one option only, and that is to guide chiropractors to becoming super successful in their own practice. And if they want to practice as a married couple or practice with a buddy, then we have to make sure we set it up right so that they can both be super successful. That is what we do here. I don't know what other people are doing. It's not my concern. That is what we do here. So if what I am saying is resonating with you, then you need to connect with us, okay? Because the core of the success team is you, me, and ultimately your accountant. Those three people are the core of your success team, not your dad, and certainly not your boyfriend, and no buddies, and no chiropractic friends, or your doctor back home. No, okay? The core, objective, professional minds are your mind, my mind, and ultimately your accountant's mind. Those three people are the core of the success team. And then you have people outside that might be confidants. Yes, but they're not at the core of your decision-making awesomeness for high-level success, okay? There's so much more I'd like to share here on starting a practice, but I wanted to get something out there. It's how much money can you get? Where do you want to go to? What level of practice are we going to have? You've got to have some coaching and start to learn how to do all this stuff because you've never done it before. Duh. You've got to be focusing on your technique and get good enough at something that people will want to actually pay for it. You get your mind clear that you want to have a great treatment time. You've got goals for how many people you want to see. You build that incredible depth of belief in chiropractic awesomeness and power going to organs. And then everything else comes along for the ride that's awesome in chiropractic. All right? The core of the success team is you, me, and ultimately the accountant. And that is an unstoppable team to help you become your absolute best. Tory out.